This is a Southern Beats production.
Organic gardening, have a degree in veterinary medicine. I'm a comparative pathologist. I do autopsies on animals and people, and I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. Treat people like dogs, but they get better. Now, the interesting thing to me as a kid was, and I started doing this, what I'm going to share with you, when I was 9 years old. I'm just that far from being 74 years old. I have not been to a doctor in 65 years, with me being the patient. I've never been on a prescription drug, and everybody in this room can do the same thing. This is not genetic. It has to do with lifestyle and supplement programs and so forth. And if you do that, the medical system will be real humble, won't they? If everybody just goes to them once in 65 years, 95% of doctors will find a new job, which is very, very good. Medical doctors in America kill more people each year than the mafia does in 1,000 years. Medical doctors kill more military personnel each year than the enemy does in Afghanistan and in Iraq each year. Medical doctors kill 700 veterans, injured veterans, in the VA hospital every year, according to the New York News Service. Each year in America, medical doctors in the VA system kill 700 veterans. We lose 400 every year in Afghanistan. Medical doctors in their workplace kill 700. Okay, this is from the New York Times Service, 1999. Now, let me share with you some things. We spend more money in America for health care than all the other nations in the world combined. There's 204 nations registered in the United Nations. 204 nations registered in the United Nations. And we spend more money than all of them combined. Not more than any nation, but all nations. And what do we get for it? We're 92nd in healthfulness. There's 91 other nations whose peoples are healthier than us. We're ranked 60th in longevity. There's 59 other nations whose peoples live longer than us. God forgive us We rank 41st when it comes to live births and first month survivability of our babies. And the only health condition that we're number one, we are number one in one health condition. In one health condition, we're number one. We're number one! We're number one in obesity. We're the number one obese nation in the world. Now, what does that tell you about what the medical system knows about obesity? They know nothing. What does it tell you what the government knows about obesity? They know nothing. Okay? Now, obesity is not a disease of excess. Obesity is not a disease that you eat too much. It's not a disease where you lack exercise. Obesity, in fact, is a nutritional deficiency disease. And I figured this out in 1978. We get people lose 140 pounds in 100 days. We get people lose 100 pounds in 90 days. We get people lose 50 pounds in 40 days. It's very simple stuff. They keep the weight off because we know what the problem is. They take that nutrient and it never comes back. The weight never comes back. You can starve yourself and lose the weight, but as soon as you start eating again, you're going to gain the weight back plus, right? Because you're still missing that nutrient. Then type 2 diabetes, and I'm going to come back to you, then type 2 diabetes is a simple mineral deficiency disease. Type 2 diabetes is not genetic in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if your blood sugar is 400. If you're a type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, if you're a type 2 diabetic and your blood sugar is 400, and your A1C hemoglobin might be, say, 9 or 10, should be below 5, within 2 days to 14 days, 2 to 14 days, your blood sugar will be down below 100 without medication. It's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. Now, how many of you heard of arthritis? There's two types of arthritis. Osteoarthritis, which starts out as osteopenia, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, degenerative arthritis, bone-to-bone arthritis. It's all the same thing, just different degrees of severity. Okay? And it's very simple to regrow cartilage. You can regrow cartilage in a heartbeat. It's very simple. Now, doctors will say you can't do that. And the only thing left for you when pain relief don't work anymore is joint replacement surgery. What I want you to say to them is, liar, liar, pants on fire, because you can regrow cartilage. We do it all the time. Then, congestive heart failure is a deficiency of a single vitamin. Congestive heart failure, you know, the thing they put you on the heart transplant list for, is a deficiency of a single vitamin. We have people who've been on the heart transplant list for 3 years. They get on our supplement program for congestive heart failure. In 5 days' time, their cardiologist takes them off the heart transplant list and 27 prescription drugs. Okay? What about dementia? How many of you heard, can you remember there is such a thing as Alzheimer's disease? Raise your hand. Okay, well, Alzheimer's disease, I can show you how to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease by 80%. Double-blind, randomized, gold standard study for 5,000 people for 10 years. And your medical doctors will tell you, well, it's genetic. There's not much you can do about it. When you get it, you just have to get your application in for the nursing home because it only goes one direction. Liars, liars, pants on fires. Okay? This is very simple stuff. Let's see, what's another one? What about macular degeneration? How many have heard of that? Most common cause of blindness in adults. I can take people who've been legally blind for 8, 10, 12 years, and in 90 days they can see 20/20 from macular degeneration. I had one doctor jump up in the back room one time and said, Wallach, you're a liar. Really? So I tell you what, you bring me 12-year patients who are legally blind for 8, 10, 12 years with macular degeneration. If I could get half of them, I could get 6 of them for 20/20, would you apologize? If you could get 2 out of 12, I'll apologize. So the next day he brings me a box full of 27 charts, all legally blind, 8, 10, 12. He said, you pick your 12. I said, I'll take all 27. 90 days, they could all read 20/20. And he made me a CD. Do we have any of those? Okay, booth 406, we got that CD where he apologizes because all 27, under his examination, could read 20/20 after 90 days. It's a very simple disease to prevent, very simple disease to reverse. So I've covered, there's one other disease. How many of you heard of rheumatoid arthritis? Now, rheumatoid arthritis is a simple infection with a bug called mycoplasma. You know you can cure syphilis in 2 weeks with penicillin. You know you can cure rheumatoid arthritis in 2 weeks with an antibiotic in the family of tetracyclines called minocycline. It's like a little bait fish, minnow. I can cure rheumatoid arthritis in 2 weeks with minocycline, and it takes about 60 to 90 days to rebuild the damage that was done by it. You see, doctors only make $300 when they cure you, but they make $750,000 when they treat you for 25 years. So which way do they go? So the whole idea of what we do with longevity in booth 406 is to teach you how to prevent these things and how to reverse them if you come to us if you already have them. It's imperative, if we're to survive financially in this country, we have to stop using the medical system. The medical system is what's broken this country financially. The reason why all the jobs went out of this country is not because some CEO is greedy. It's because medical benefits for employees broke the companies. And when Billy Clinton signed that bill allowing NAFTA, remember Ross Perot said if anybody signs NAFTA, remember what he answered? And we're in Texas right now. So you got to tell the truth in Texas, right? He said in his Texas accent with his big ears, if anybody signs NAFTA, you're the John Sucking sound as all the jobs leave America. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, when Billy Clinton signed NAFTA, all the jobs left America because it gave permission for the big publicly traded companies to get tax deductions for employees outside the United States. Okay? Now, why did they flee? Because they're bad guys? No. What is the purpose of a publicly traded company? To make money for who? The stockholders. Well, you make money for your stockholders by following the rules. It was legal. Get tax deduction for employees out of the country. Boom! They just left the country, the big sucking sound, and away they went. And they ain't never coming back, as they say. And so we have to take control here. The way we're going to take control is to learn how to take care of yourself, take care of your kids, take care of your grandkids. If you don't take care of your kids and grandkids, the word is out, and you may have heard this, that our kids are not going to live as long as us. Raise your hand if you've heard that your kids are not going to live as long as us. Okay, that's half the people in the room. It's worth learning how to take care of yourself just to take care of your kids and your grandkids. If we don't do that, that prediction will come true. In April last year, a wonderful scientific journal called Food Chemistry, which comes out every month, and it looks at the nutritional value of American foods and pollution loads in our foods, they said, April 16, 2012, that our baby foods like Similac, Enfamil, and Gerber's have less than 20% of the minerals and vitamins that our babies need, less than 20% of the minimum requirements. Dog food has 100%, chicken food has 100%, laboratory rat food has 100%, and your baby's food have less than 20%? So unless you're supplementing them, we're going to have trouble. So why should I supplement? I'm eating American food. Well, we have a problem here.
This is a South Beach production.